Every game starts with a simple idea, but a great game, it starts with a character that will alive. Hi everyone, I'm MohammadReza, a solo game developer building my dream to the game from scratch. In this episode, I'm designing my main character of the game, inspired by the hunting world of Neversong. I wanted to capture that some airy, something feeling, but with my own twist, something original and something personal. So grab your sketch pad or just sit back and let's bring this character to life. Think of it like laying the foundation of the house. Without strong foundation, it doesn't matter how beautifully you decorated the walls or paint the room. The structure won't stand. Similarly, without a solid blueprint, even the most beautiful details won't make the character believable. When drawing, start with very simple shapes. Use circle, square, and the triangles to outline the body. For example, the head might be a circle, the torso an oval, and the arms simple lines. At this point, don't worry about the details like clothing, hair, or facial expressions. Instead, focus on the pose and silhouette. A good silhouette, something that's recognizable even in a black shadows, will highlight your character. Another important part of design is proportion. Do you want the character to look realistic with natural body proportion, or maybe you want it to look more streamlined with a large head and short legs like many indie games? Deciding on this early on will help guide the design process. Design also gives you the freedom of experiment because it's rough and fast. You can try different poses, shapes, and design it without fear of making mistakes. In fact, mistakes here is good. It helps you explore creative possibilities. You can design 5 or 6 versions of a character, then choose one that looks the most interesting. Finally, remember that the rough draft is not a final product. It is a blueprint. It guides toward the final artwork, but leaves room for change. Don't spend too much time perfecting it. Keep it simple, free, and flexible. Once the rough draft looks balanced and dynamic, you can move on the next step, adding detail. Once you have the initial sketch complete, it's time to refine it and bring the character closer to its final appearance. This stage is all about the detail. Think of its dressing and manicure. You already have the basic shapes. Now you need to add the clothes, hair, accessories, and personality. Start by going over the sketch with cleaner, stronger lines, define the outline more cleanly, and make sure the proportions are right. Then, start adding features like eyes, nose, mouth, and fingers. Don't try to add everything to once. Work step by step from big to small. Clothing is another key area of detail. Ask yourself, what is this character wearing and why? For example, a warrior might have a scuffed armor that shows they fought in many battles. A scientist might wear a long coat with tools in the pockets.
Even small details like turn, sleeves, and ankles can tell a lot about character's background. Hair is also important. The style, length, and texture of hair can completely change how a character reads. Spiky hair may indicate energy and voluminous. Straight, clean hair may indicate calm and order.
Accessories and props can make a character more unique and memorable. A simple chain, hat, or backpack can give players clues about who the character is and what role they play in the story. Just be careful not to overload the design with too many items. It's better to choose a few meaningful details than to cover the character with random objects. Adding details is also about texture. Think about the material. Is the clothing made of soft fabric, shiny metal, rough leather? Drawing small lines, pattern or shading can suggest this texture and make the character feel more believable. At this stage, the character starts to feel alive. You can almost imagine their voice, the walk, and the emotion. Once the details are in place, the drawing is ready for the final stage, lighting and shading. Once the sketch is complete and the details are in place, the final stage that really brings the character to life is lighting and shading. This is the step where the flat drawing turns into three-dimensional form, and where mood and atmosphere can completely change the way players feel about the character. The first and most important thing to understand is that light defines form. Without light, everything looks flat. By deciding where the light comes from, we can show depth, weight, and even emotion. For example, if the light comes from above, it makes the character look natural, as if standing outside in direct light. If the light comes from below, it feels strange, scary, or dramatic. In most cases, artists start with a primary light source. This could be the sun, a lamp, or anything else that fits the environment of the game. Then we add shadows in the areas that the light can't reach. The contrast between light and dark creates the illusion of value. Even a simple circle looks like a ball once you shade one side and leave the other big. But shading isn't only about realism. It's also about mood and storytelling. A brightly lit character with soft shadows feels safe, friendly, or innocent. A character with strong, harsh shadows feels dangerous, mysterious, or tragic. The way you shade can completely change how players emotionally respond to characters. There are different styles of shading. Soft shading, where shadows fade smoothly, gives a realistic look. A cel shading, with sharp edges, feels more graphic and cartoon-like. Each style has its own advantages, and the right choice depends on the artist's direction of your game. Another factor is contrast. High contrast makes a character more dramatic and eye-catching, while low contrast feels calm and subtle. Think about your story you want to tell, and adjust the lighting accordingly.
Finally, always be consistent. If light is coming from the left, all shadows should fall to the right. Inconsistency breaks the illusion and makes the character look strange. In summary, lighting and shading turn a flat drawing into something alive. They define form, set the mood, and connect the player emotionally to the character. By carefully choosing your light source, shading style, and contrasts, you can transform a simple sketch into a powerful, memorable design.